Welcome to Toon My Heart. Yes, that's Toon as in cartoon. Because in this podcast, we'll be taking a closer look at popular animated movies through a Christian lens, in search of faith-relevant themes and traces of eternal truth. I'm your host, Tracy Herold. And just a disclaimer, I'm not a Bible scholar, nor am I a film scholar. I'm just an animation fan who loves Jesus, and who wants to explore how the themes and ideas presented in some of my favorite films might resonate with the Christian faith and help remind us of what we believe, in sometimes surprising ways. So I hope you'll join me as we get animated about our faith.
For anyone bemoaning the seemingly endless stream of sequels and remakes in theaters nowadays, Pixar's Hoppers is a triumph. The movie made $88 million globally in its first weekend, the best opening weekend for an original animated film since Coco in 2017. Directed by Daniel Chong, the creator of Cartoon Network's We Bare Bears series, and prior to that, a storyboard artist at Pixar and other studios, with a screenplay by Jesse Andrews, who also wrote the screenplay for Luca, Hoppers tells the story of Mabel, a young woman passionate about nature, who is desperate to stop her city's mayor from building a freeway overpass through the peaceful woodland glade that she and her grandmother used to enjoy together. When she discovers that her college professor is in charge of a secret program called Hoppers, that allows human minds to hop into robotic animals, she hops into a beaver robot and runs away to the forest in hopes of using the technology to convince the animals to help her save the glade. It's a pretty wild premise, one which, as you've probably seen in the ads, the movie itself jokingly compares to Avatar, which I find particularly funny since back when Avatar first came out, there were so many people comparing it to animated films like Ferngully and Pocahontas. So it feels like we've come full circle. But whatever surface-level similarities there may be, Hoppers is definitely its own story with its own distinct character and message. It's full of humor, zany action, and a surprising amount of heart. Before we get into more of my thoughts on the film, let's hear from Darcy, age 10, with what she thought of Hoppers and whether you should give it a watch. Hi, Darcy.
Hi.
So, Darcy, what did you think of Hoppers?
I liked it.
Yeah, what did you like about it?
I liked that there was animals in it and that there's like science in it and stuff.
You think we could actually create stuff like that, robots we could put our brains into?
Mm-hmm.
Who was your favorite character?
I can't choose.
You can't choose? You know who my favorite character was?
What?
King George, the king beaver.
Oh, okay. Why?
Because he was just so sweet and nice and cute.
Okay.
Okay. Well, who were some of your favorite characters?
Same as yours. And maybe the lizard?
What about Mabel? Did you like Mabel?
Yeah,
Did you think it was funny?
a little.
A little? Just a little?
Yes.
What was your favorite part of the movie?
When Mabel goes into the robot beaver body.
And then she's running around all excited
Yeah.
because she can hear the animals.
Yeah.
All right. Do you think other people should go see it?
Yes.
All right. Anything else you want to say about Hoppers?
Go see it now.
All right. Thank you, Darcy.
Bye.
So despite Darcy's ardent recommendation, I do understand that Christians may have misgivings about seeing Hoppers because of its apparent environmentalist message. But let me offer 2 reasons why that shouldn't deter you from seeing this film. First of all, while we certainly shouldn't elevate animals above humans or worship the creature instead of the creator as some environmentalists may do, we also shouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater and be anti-environmentalist either. Everything in nature is created and cared for by God. The Psalms frequently celebrate the beauty and wonder of God's natural creation. The Proverbs use the traits of animals as examples for human behavior. In the book of Job, Job tells his friends, "But now ask the beasts and let them teach you, and the birds of the air and let them tell you. Or speak to the earth and let it teach you, and let the fish of the sea declare to you. Who among all these does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? In whose hand is the soul of every living thing and the breath of all mankind?" And then, of course, Christ himself taught that God knows and cares for every flower of the field and every bird of the air. So if God so cares for his creation, we ought to as well. Yes, humans are special within God's creation, having been created in his image, but that should also give us a special sense of responsibility toward the rest of his creation. As Psalm 8 says, he has made us rulers over the work of his hands, the animals, birds, and fish, and good rulers care for the well-being of their subjects. Hoppers does a good job of showing the beauty and healing power of nature, and that this is exactly why Mabel is so passionate about defending it. Her grandmother taught her to sit quietly and observe nature as a balm for her youthful anger, telling her that it's hard to be mad when you feel like you're part of something big. Like Mabel, sitting in nature and reminding ourselves of the grandeur of God's creation can help us to combat anger, anxiety, and depression. The second reason that Hopper's environmentalist message shouldn't scare you away is that, I would argue, environmentalism isn't even the movie's primary message. Like the best Pixar films, Hopper's goes much deeper than a simplistic, straightforward lesson, where Mabel is absolutely right and the mayor she's fighting against is absolutely wrong. Certainly, protecting the environment is what Mabel is passionate about, and Hopper's does champion being passionate and fighting for what you believe in. But it also warns about the danger of becoming so consumed with a fight, even for a good cause, that you vilify and demonize your opponents, stoke fear and anger in others, and allow yourself to use the very tactics that you once hated. King George, the beaver king that Mabel meets, and arguably Hopper's standout character, is a happy-go-lucky creature who believes there's good in everyone. To Mabel, and probably to most of the audience, this outlook seems naive. As Christians, we tend to see things from the opposite direction. Not that there's good in everyone, but rather that there is sin in everyone, that all people are sinners. And while that's true, we should remember that all people are also made in the image of God, which means there is good in everyone, or at least the potential for good, if they choose to embrace it. Recognizing the humanity of even those we vehemently disagree with, and not losing our own humanity in the fight for what we believe is right, is what Hopper's is really about. That's a timely message that's applicable to so many of the battles we face today, and it resonates with the message our Savior gave us 2,000 plus years ago. Love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, and pray for those who spitefully use you. If I've convinced you that Hopper's is worth checking out, you can, of course, wait for it to come out on Disney+. But I would really encourage you to go see it on the big screen while it's still in theaters, if you can afford to do so. As the saying goes, money talks. So if we want to see studios keep making original, creative new movies like this one, rather than relying solely on the safety of sequels and remakes, buying tickets is the best way we have to send that message. As always, thank you so much for listening to this First Impressions episode of Toon My Heart. If you haven't checked it out already, I just put out a great new full-length episode of the show last week, all about Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and I would love for you to give that a listen too. Also, please remember to hit the subscribe or follow button wherever you're listening right now so that you'll be notified about future episodes. And if you've got a few minutes, it would mean the world to me if you'd help others learn about the show by writing a review, posting about it on social media, or just telling your friends about it. Every little bit helps. Thanks again for listening, and until next time, remember, we're all in this together.